Friendo, Steve here.
And Larson.
And welcome back to Going in Raw, the only pro wrestling podcast you need to be listening to right here at youtube.com/Stephen Larson, wherever podcasts can be found. And of course, taped live at the twitch.tv/Stephen Larson. We got a bunch to talk about today. We're talking about, we're going to do a recap of Impact Slammiversary, which went down last night. We're going to do a full Smackdown and AEW Rampage review for each show. And we're going to talk about Stephen Larson of Going in Raw. That's this show. Possibly buying a wrestling promotion. We're going to dive into that in just a little bit here because that is something that is weighing heavy, I think, on both of our minds, Larson.
Yeah, maybe that's why I'm so tired today.
I don't blame you.
The weight of that on my shoulders. Yeah. That's a lot to consider. Anyways, we're getting ahead of ourselves.
Absolutely. We'll talk about that in a second. But first, let's talk about this here. We haven't had a chance to talk about it. But following the release of a bombshell report from the Wall Street Journal that Visca Man was being investigated by the WWE Board of Directors for alleged misconduct and subsequent announcement by WWE that Vince was in fact stepping away from his duties as CEO and chairman. Yeah, albeit temporarily pending the investigation. Yeah. Vince opened Smackdown on Friday, and he said basically a whole lot of nothing. Fightful Select spoke to some current and former talent about Vince's segment. One current talent told Fightful they called Vince's promo, quote, tone deaf and embarrassing, while a former WWE superstar told Fightful, quote, I'm happy it didn't last long so I didn't have to sit through whatever bullshit he was going to say. But it shows that he has no accountability, especially when something is directly his fault. Now, before we talk about the return of Brock Lesnar at the end of Smackdown and how inspired a choice for a Roman SummerSlam opponent that is.
Wow, truly inspired.
Let's talk about Vince's Smackdown return and probably farewell, I would think, for a spell.
Yeah, I would think so as well. But, I mean, excuse me. You know, in terms of what he actually said, if you look to what he said on paper, it's a matter of what, 2 or 3 sentences.
Yes, correct.
Yeah, maybe like a third or fourth.
So, yeah.
It was short. It was really like short. 30 seconds. But I guess it wasn't so much what he said as what he emphasized during his little bit, and of course his general demeanor when he was out there.
Yeah.
There was no contrition.
Let's put on our psychoanalyst hats, Larson.
There was no humility, no contrition. He came out there to soak in the audience's adulation.
Correct.
And more or less state that without himself, there might not be no then, now, forever WWE.
So this is how it all went down, because you're absolutely right. He opened the show, music kicks in, and here's the thing. I understand the Pavlovian response at this point to his theme song. I get it. And I get, fans that are there, they're witnessing history. You sort of, look, you and I have been to live shows where Vince was. We went to his last actual wrestling match prior to the WrestleMania debacle, where he wrestled CM Punk back in like 2013 or something like that. And even knowing the awful things he's done off camera, allegedly, and the awful things he's done in front of our eyes on camera, we still cheered. It's Vince, right?
It's hard not to sing to No Chance in Hell.
In the moment, I'm not really going to put much, I'm not going to give the crowd much shit for cheering Vince McMahon. There were plenty of boos. There were people in there doing the old thumbs down. So I'm just setting the stage. So he comes out, like you said, his strut. This man doesn't know the word contrition. He doesn't know the word remorse.
He doesn't know anything about humility.
No. He comes out. He's never said I'm sorry in his life. So he comes down and he gets in there and he effectively says the WWE signature, which is a little video package that runs beforehand where the logo shows up and there's footage that they replace people they don't like with people they like. He says, those words really mean a lot. Then, now, forever. And then he says, and especially the last word, together. And then he says, well, he's talking about it's a special privilege to introduce this. And he says, welcome to Smackdown. And then he throws the mic.
And that's it.
Job accomplished. Mission accomplished. Job
and
well done.
He walks around ringside, shakes some hands, and goes up the stage.
Yeah, people are all excited and stuff. Like you said, it's exactly right. Number one, on Friday, I'd mentioned there's a lot of parallels between him and our 45th president. And when you've taken a hit, and by all accounts, according to Fightful, he was jovial backstage. Business as usual was the term thrown around.
Yep.
And he seemed happy to be there. And when our former president now would ever take a big scandalous hit, which seemingly was like on a weekly basis, he would always organize a rally. When it's all he was feeling down, let's soak in some adulation, because if nothing else, he could do that. Vince is very much like our 45th president. And I mean, they're friends, they're colleagues. They've worked with each other in WWE. McMahon's wife runs a super PAC for him, I think. And so there are some
former member of his cabinet too.
Definite parallels there.
Yeah.
So Vince, taking a big hit like this, what does he do? I'm going to be at SmackDown so he can soak in the adulation. So that's what he does, A. And then B, what you said was exactly right. And it's funny because I texted you. I was like, hey, so what do you think of this? And what you texted me back was exactly right. Saying together is this. I am this. They're with me. If I go, they go, which is capital B bullshit.
Yep.
They will stick around regardless, because we're not there for him. We're there for the superstars of the WWE.
Yeah, and what he's trying to do is say, hey, board, broadcast partners. I'm having trouble. Why is Siri talking to you?
I have no idea.
Wow. I think we talked about this on the Friday episode too. What he's trying to do is show the board, broadcast partners, sponsors, whoever might think twice or pull out of a business relationship with WWE due to this investigation. He's saying to them, hey, you can't have me not be here. My value to this company, this industry, is too large to take me out of my role. That's what he's trying to do.
Yeah. Now, it's stupid. Well, it's not. Yes. I'm not going to say it's stupid. I just don't know how effective that's going to be. We're talking about partners that are ponying up billions of dollars. Mm-hmm. You think they're going to give a shit? You think they're that, I don't know, short-sighted as to think, oh my God, whoa, he just blew our minds by doing that. Now we're not gonna try to have him removed.
I don't know. Honestly, don't know. I mean, you'd like to think, if the investigation continues to, produce more scandalous headlines, and there's some messed up stuff that's happened, you'd think it'd be it would be obvious that business partners would say, no, we're not dealing with this anymore.
Yeah.
You think, I want to say it's Brandon Thurston posted on Twitter over the weekend, like the clauses in Vince's contract that could lead to him being removed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's like fairly obvious stuff. But if there's mounting evidence that there's some, like pretty bad stuff that's happened, it's seemingly as possible they'd be like, all right, you're out.
I would think that if they're able to establish a pattern of behavior similar to this, where it's been fairly rampant, then you're probably right. The board would probably vote to kick him out. According to Brandon Thurston, they can do that. Part of the entire agreement, they can kick him out. But yeah, I honestly, like you said, it's up to the investigation to determine that stuff. If there's stuff in there that's so egregious that it's they can't ignore it, then there you go. If literally this is an isolated incident which would be kind of which to me
it would be shocking, considering in the Wall Street Journal thing they said there was already numerous NDAs that had been signed.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, if this was if this was an isolated incident, you know what it means. He's just good at getting rid of evidence. That's all that means. And if he's good at getting rid of evidence and an investigation is non-conclusive, then he's probably going to just stick around. You know, he'll get a little slap on the wrist or whatever. So because I would be kind of surprised. I'd be kind of surprised given how much money is flowing in if the board actually wanted him gone. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I think it's like they're probably hoping, man, we don't want, because nobody who wants to rock the boat. Things are going well. They are going well. They're signing multiple billion-dollar deals.
Profitable quarters they've had. Yeah,
they have new rights deals coming up, and if things are calm and normal, according to Brandon Thurston, 1.5 times their current deal would be normal. That would be something that you could possibly speculate that'd be the price they'd get. So I would be kind of surprised if anybody wanted the boat to be rocked, but at the same time, they got to do their due diligence. They can't just ignore this.
And then if it gets to the point where it's the scandal has grown to such a degree that having him around is going to cost the company money in terms of these negotiations coming up, then they gotta make the decision whether to keep him around or not.
Yeah.
And what he's trying to do is say, essentially, I'm invaluable. You can't put a value on me, my presence in this company. Essentially, you can't remove me from power because this is what I bring.
Yeah. So Raw commentator Jimmy Smith spoke about the investigation into Vince's conduct during the most recent episode of his Unlocking the Cage podcast. These transcripts come to you via Wrestling Inc., and he said, what will get exposed over the next couple of months is in investigations like this typically is what is the executive culture at WWE. That's what we're going to find out. The good thing about me and my job is I don't know because I'm not an executive. He says, one thing you have to know about me work-wise is I do my job, I take my headset off, and I go home. 2 places you can be in a production meeting. You can sit next to Vince McMahon. You can sit across from Vince McMahon. I'm one of the people that sits across from Vince McMahon. All the producers, the commentators, we all sit on one side and they go over the matches. People are sitting next to Vince and people are sitting across from Vince. What is going to get investigated over the next couple of months is the culture and communication between the people who sit next to Vince McMahon. That's what's going to get looked at. Why? A culture is hard to hide. You can hide an act. You can do something. You can make a mistake and you can make amends for that mistake and all these things. You can do that. It's what's going on communication-wise behind the scenes. That's what this investigation is going to be looking at. They're going to be looking at the executive culture of the WWE. Hats off to Jimmy Smith for being so forthcoming about this and explaining it from a very, transparent point of view, you know, and taking himself out of it. That's fine. But no, that's an interesting perspective, and it seemingly it kind of nails what these investigations are going to entail. Yep. Also on Smackdown, we're going to talk about it in depth, the details of the show in a little bit. But at the conclusion of Smackdown, Brock Lesnar showed up to F5 Roman Reigns after he defeated Riddle in a really, really
it was a fun match.
Fun main event. Fightful Select reports that Roman and Brock are set to main event SummerSlam and added that Brock's return has been planned for about 3 weeks once it became clear that Randy Orton's injury would preclude him from appearing on the show. We should do a count out, top 10 better options than Brock Lesnar again.
I mean, just about anybody, really. And it's not like, here's the thing. Brock was a lot of fun in his last run.
Yeah, he was.
That story came to an end.
It did.
No interest in seeing Brock and Roman wrestle. Yeah. Zero. Because here's the thing, even when the character work was good, their Mania match was kind of lame.
Yeah,
all their matches are kind of lame because, save for the WrestleMania 31 one, because that match actually had a story beyond let's mash the finisher button over and over again.
Yeah.
And that's the issue with their matches is that they book them as two titans colliding.
Yeah.
And rather than telling a story of hell, working body parts, exposing your opponent's weakness, anything like that, it's just Superman punch, spear, F5, suplex, F5. There's no story other than who can kick out of the most finishes.
Yeah.
And it's not that interesting, especially when we've seen it like 9 times already.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. We've seen it so many times. This WrestleMania one felt like, okay, we're good for now. Like, we're good. Dude, it was just a couple months ago. There's not that much time between Mania and SummerSlam. Yeah, it's needless. Dude, I'll be honest. I would have preferred they brought back Braun Strowman. You know, he's a monster. He's been gone for a while. He's in phenomenal shape. Bring him back. Build up somebody. I mean, dude, Shinsuke Nakamura. You could build him up. You could build up any number of people. You know, give Theory a shot at that main event. I know he's going to do Cena, but hell, put Cena in there. I didn't even really like their last encounter because it was all about Cena trying to get it backwoods.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, dude, there's any number of people. You know, somebody who's on the way up and takes Roman to his limit, and then you build that person back up, you know.
Hell, give the match to Braun Breaker.
Seth Rollins never really got a clean loss against Roman. He won that match because Roman beat the shit out of him too much. Yeah.
Yep.
You know, have Seth Rollins take that loss if you're going to go there.
AJ Styles. Have AJ.
He's always ready for the main event.
He's apparently done with Judgment Day.
Yeah. Yeah. Ezekiel. Giuseppe.
Yeah, I'd rather see every name listed so far. I'd rather see rather than Brock.
I know. Yeah,
every single one. And I get it. Brock and Rowan are the two surefire names that draw on the company, and that's an indictment of how poorly they've built up the rest of their roster.
Yeah, they've. The thing is, like, so the SummerSlam is going to be a stadium show, right?
Yeah, it's in Nashville.
Yeah,
at the football stadium there. Yeah.
So like they've proven that they can't seem to get it done with. I mean, if the idea is we're not going to be able to, because I understand Brock sells tickets. Brock Roman sells tickets. Like, you and I don't want to see it, but it sells tickets. And you're right. It is an absolute indictment on their inability, their unwillingness to try to build somebody up to a stadium ticket selling level. They've relied on Brock far too long. Good for Brock. He's going to get a massive payday.
Yeah, he'll get paid. You know, I'm not going to besmirch him for coming back and getting paid, you know.
You think, hey, let me ask you something. Is there any chance Vince called up Austin first? I wonder if they went to any other options that are like outside, you know, the typical.
Oh, who knows? Who knows?
I don't know who else there could be.
There's really no one else other than Brock to fall back to.
Yeah.
They should have done Lashley. Lashley a bit more interesting.
Shane. They should have done Shane.
Ugh.
Kane. Green Kane. How about that?
All right, I'd be cool with Green Kane.
All right.
Maybe not. Nah, not Green Kane. No, I don't want to see Green Kane.
We're going to talk about Impact Slammiversary here in just a second, and we're going to talk about Smackdown, the full review in AEW in just a moment. But first, we got to talk about this, man. And the full vlog of this. I had no idea it was going to happen before I started recording this vlog, but you and I have been getting out. This is why we didn't do Triple Mania live stream on Saturday, because you and I have been trying to make our way to more local shows. From what I understand, like, for example, West Coast Pro's been putting on some really fun shows out in the Bay Area. I know you've been anxious to get to some of those too. But our local promotion, Action Coast Wrestling, we've been hanging out there. They run every 2 months. We've been going out there.
Fantastic shows.
And it's so much fun. The energy's wild. Friendos show up. They say, hey, Metal Nerves was there this weekend. Said hi to him. And it's a lot of fun. And this weekend, it was even more intense because this epic rivalry between Joe DeSole and Magnum AD reached a massive, dramatic turning point.
Yeah.
Ownership of the company was on the line. And this was just a killer match, just a physical, brutal brawl. And you and I both were like, there's no way Magnum's going to lose this.
I know.
Magnum, it was revealed, owns the damn company, which was news to me until Joe DeSole broke it to us in a promo.
Oh.
And then Joe DeSole ends up getting the win. It was turned into a no DQ match. Joe DeSole pulls off a win. Bang. He owns the company. So what does this guy do? He
gets on the mic and tries to auction it off pretty much.
In the moment.
Yeah.
He gets on the mic and starts, it's like Storage Wars now all of a sudden.
Yep.
He's like, who wants a piece of AEW? 5,000. And so he starts pointing at people in the crowd. You want to buy it? You want to buy it? And then he recognizes us. We're there because we're there all the time now.
Yeah.
And he's like, whoa, light bulb goes off in Joe DeSole's head. He's like, you guys over there, award-winning podcast Going in Raw, which, by the way, we have won awards.
True. I had to think about that for a second, but we have, yeah.
But you guys, you wanna buy it? Well, I ain't saying no, but I don't know if we're gonna say yes.
There's a lot of reasons to not say yes.
We're inept.
We are.
At what? Pretty much everything.
Pretty much everything.
Yeah.
We stumbled into success somehow. I don't know how.
How are we one of the biggest pro wrestling podcasts? That's still weird to me.
It really is. I don't know how. We don't know anything.
Yeah, right.
We don't know anything.
Yeah.
There's that aspect. There's a financial aspect. I don't know how much it's going to be to buy a wrestling promotion. I don't know if we have that kind of money. I'm guessing no.
Yeah, right.
It was fun doing We Book Raw together.
Oh,
but this is a real promotion, This is a real thing.
Yeah.
This isn't some video game thing. This is a real thing.
There's plenty of reasons to do it. Plenty of reasons not to do it. He said, call me up at 9 a.m. Monday morning. I called him. He didn't answer. Left in a voicemail. I was like, is this Joe DeSoul?
Sure you called the right number?
Nope.
Oh, right.
Not really. But I don't know. There are possibilities. We have distribution. We have like a Twitch channel.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe this could be a gold mine. Maybe it could be a money pit. I don't know. We could run it into the ground, or we could take it to new heights of success.
Every possibility seems to have equal probability, Steve.
Exactly. All that stuff you just said. So I don't know, man. So there's a whole vlog where you can see all this go down, and then of course over at Action Coast Wrestling's YouTube channel, you can. I know. Hopefully within the next couple of days they'll have some
the show
footage
up,
as well. Yeah, they'll have the show up.
It was a really fun show. It was an awesome show. Mm-hmm. So yeah, once Action Coast Wrestling has it up in their YouTube, highly recommend checking it out.
Yeah, please do.
We got some other Going in Raw news here for those in the Northern California area, or those who want to make a trip out here. Mm-hmm. We're doing something really fun. Mm-hmm. We're going to sponsor a horse race at the California State Fair. It's the Going in Raw Stakes. Apparently, we'll have the name of the race up on the board and everything.
Mm-hmm, yeah,
this is a real thing.
Yeah, it is. This is a real thing.
Yeah, and so it's happening Sunday, July 17th. It's the first race of the day. Post time, I believe, is 1:45 in the afternoon, Pacific time. I don't know if there's a way to watch it outside of the track. I don't know if it's being
streamed,
broadcast via satellite or something. But it's a real thing. This is happening. We're going to be there for it, obviously. And so any friendos, Northern California area, want to come out, watch our horse race, come on out.
At the very least, I will try to go live on our Instagram for the actual race. I'll try to do that. But yeah, come out to the California State Fair. When is it? July what?
July 17th. Sunday, July 17th.
Sunday,
yes.
Sunday. Meet the stars of Going in Raw.
Yeah.
Enforcer's going to be there too.
Enforcer's going to be there, yeah.
We got his travel all arranged and everything.
Yeah.
And then tonight, Steve W makes its return to twitch.tv/MFSteve here. On Friday, the VOD of it, the edited version of it, will go up at the Friendo Club TV channel. So check that out. Tonight at 7 p.m. Pacific, Steve W returns. The new stars of Steve W: Cheeseburger, Akira Gilson, the Gilson family, Green Kane, Bill Cena, Marco Corleone Jr.
Bill Cena.
Yeah, Bill Cena. So it's fascinating. In another timeline, Bill Goldberg signed with WWF, was given the John Cena gimmick, wildly successful, became president of Earth, and then some rebels who don't like Bill Cena sent him into this timeline, and now he's got to start from scratch.
That's interesting.
Marco Corleone Jr. is going to be there. Tabby. Yeah. The Eyewitness is going to be there.
Oh, I remember the Eyewitness. You didn't rename the Eyewitness?
He doesn't want his name to be known. He saw something.
Well, I mean, he could have got an alias, getting the witness protection, get an alias.
He's also not very smart.
Oh, all right.
But he is observant.
Well, I guess that remains to be seen, huh?
You got to tune in to find out how observant or smart he is.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Impact Slammiversary, Larson.
Yeah, let's do that. It was a fun show overall. Of course, it was a celebration of Impact's 20th anniversary, and they had a bunch of cool little video packages throughout of people celebrating Impact making it 20 years, commemorating the occasion. Kurt Angle had one. And then AJ Styles, WWE's AJ Styles, had one. Even thanked WWE for allowing him to do it. Every once in a while, it seems like...
Whoa. Breaking. Metal Nerve says Night Ranger is going to be performing at the State Fair the same day. Holy shit. So you can watch the Going In Raw Stakes and then check out Sister Christian.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's just a day loaded of fun right there.
Sorry. Continue, please.
So every once in a while, WWE will allow their talent to do cool stuff outside the company. And this was one such occasion.
Yeah.
That's good they realized this is probably important to AJ. It's something he really wanted to do. Mm-hmm. It cost WWE absolutely nothing.
Yeah, right.
Nothing.
Yeah.
To let AJ do this, and thankfully they did, because it'd be strange to just celebrate TNA Impact's 20th anniversary and not have some appearance from AJ Styles.
Yeah, dude. We were both kind of floored by this. It was happening, and we were like, "What the fuck? Really? That's crazy." And he gave a shout out to WWE for letting him do this. Seems like he recorded this shortly after WrestleMania because he had that stitches still up here from when he gashed his head on the WrestleMania logo. But no, that was cool. But otherwise, no, it was a really good show. Fairly unpredictable. I mean, we did pretty terrible in our predictions.
Yeah, we did.
It's funny because we did the thing where I was like, yeah, I can sort of see Speedball winning here, but it makes more sense for Ace Austin to win. And so I put a bunch of money on Speedball and ended up winning that. But for Big Red predictions, I did go up by a small margin of 1 single point over you. Because you were trying to cheat left and right. This was crazy.
Well, when I get tired, the first thing that goes is my ability to multitask.
Okay, sure.
And so between managing the predictions, going up on our Twitch and doing keeping track of our prediction points, I made a bookkeeping error on my end because I made a couple changes, didn't make note of it, and and
you gave yourself like 2 6s and then 2 5s. You're like, again, I'm fucking loading the decks here.
Because I was doing the math afterwards. It was up one. I was like, this doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I know. Me too. That's why I was like, wait a second.
I was doing that as well. It's like, I'm checking the math here. And then, it took me a while to realize there was duplicate numbers here, and then I didn't realize the full extent of my duplicity.
Heel turn there from Larson. But yeah, a huge, like all the titles except for what's it called?
The World Championship.
World Championship. They all changed hands.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, Rich Swann was already champ. He was already digital media champion.
But he finally got to get the belt.
It actually did change hands physically. Yeah.
Yes, it did. That was pretty surprising. I kind of thought Tasha Steelz. Well, at first I thought Jordan Grace was going to win, but at the end, right before the match, I was like, nah, I kind of feel like Tasha's going to retain. But no, Jordan Grace won. Mm-hmm. I was pretty surprised that Ace Austin didn't retain his belt, but I guess you could kind of say Alex Zane not directly cost him the match, but distracted him enough from getting the belt that eventually allowed Mike Bailey to knock him off the ropes up top over the ring and get the belt for himself.
That Ultimate X match was a lot of fun.
It really was.
Speedball up there, like he's built for this because he's kind of small and he's obviously super agile and athletic. So he's just up there doing all sorts of shit on the ropes. And it was like, oh,
yeah,
God,
it was crazy. It was crazy. Probably two most surprising outcomes were the Influence losing the knockout tag titles, and then the Good Brothers beating the Briscoes.
Yeah. Wait, so did the Good Brothers have a match against the Briscoes? I thought, didn't the Good Brothers already? No.
They did at Multiverse of Matches.
Was that the
Mania
thing?
Weekend.
Okay. Yeah, that is very surprising then. So yeah, I mean, we'll just go through these results here. Kicked off with in the pre-show. Thank God if you were watching on Fight, you'd actually watch this because their YouTube channel did not feature this. Rich Swann versus Brian Myers for the Digital Media Championship. Surprisingly, Rich Swann's lack of a Twitter account did not preclude him from
He actually
this.
does have a Twitter account. He just hasn't tweeted since 2018.
It's a burner account. Gotcha. and he got the win on Brian Myers with a 450. So
and we thankfully tuned in right before that happened.
Yeah, we had to write because luckily somebody in the YouTube chat over there on Impact was like, "Hey, this is on Fight right now." I was like, "Whoa." After that, we had the reverse battle royal, which was just a lot of fun. This was very much including the winner as well. Impact TNA nostalgia match. All sorts of faces who I have not seen since I've watched Impact since day one.
Or you could say I have not seen.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. All sorts of names. And I was like, who's this guy? Who's this guy? In the reverse battle royal, which is, of course, 8 people battle their way into the ring, and then it turns into a real battle royal.
12 or 16 on the outside. First 8 that get in the ring. Then it's a traditional battle royal till the final 2. And then the final 2 have a one-on-one match to determine the winner.
Yeah.
Final 2 were Johnny Swinger, Shark Boy. And right before the final 2, right before they go the one-on-one phase of the match, Swinger tosses Shark Boy out of the match. He thinks he has it won. And then you're like, no, Johnny. That means now not only do you not win, that means you're certainly going to lose at this juncture. And that's what happened.
That is what happened, yeah. Yeah, Shark Boy, good win there for the old nostalgia kick there. After that, we had Ultimate X. Again, this is one of those that it's like, I would recommend you check it out if you can.
Yeah.
Wildly fun. Mike Bailey got the win after knocking Ace Austin. But by the way, Ace Austin in that Bullet Club gear looks
amazing.
Like it fits.
It really does. It really does.
Perfect. I love Chris Bay was sort of similar, how the Finesse Club stuff, all the gear. When he joined Bullet Club, he made it look good, and Ace Austin's the same way.
Definitely. Down towards the finish, Bailey and Ace were both had their legs wrapped around the 2 ropes that kind of cross at the top of the ring or over the ring. And we're kind of fighting a bit up there. Then at one point, Alex Zane climbs up to Ace. Ace Austin knocks him off, and that allows Mike Bailey to knock Ace Austin off the ropes and claim the X Division title for himself.
Yep. After that, we had an Impact Originals interview where they talked to the Impact Originals team. Nick Aldis, who's going retro, says, I won't say who the fifth man is,
brother.
He says, but he said, we got all sorts of applications in, a lot of names that are going retro. And he says, but the guy that we chose, when we saw his name, made sense. And it did actually make quite a bit of sense.
It did. Then we had the Knockouts tag title match. The Influence champions taking on Taya, Valkyrie, and Rosemary. Considering that Taya shot Johnny Bravo.
Yeah.
Either was it at
the wedding?
This was at the wedding. Johnny Bravo and Rosemary. Yeah. I thought Rosemary would kind of come up to some degree, because I don't believe I know Taya was sent to jail when she left to go to NXT, but in terms of Rosemary kind of getting her own vengeance for that, I didn't think that happened.
Yeah.
And if it's going to happen, it's going to wait, because Taya pinned Madison Rayne after hitting a pop-up spine buster. They got the win.
Yep. After that, we had Moose versus Sami Callihan in a Monsters Ball match. Of course, prior to this match, each man was separated in their own isolation rooms for 24 hours. Of course, Sami Callihan, big weirdo, loves it, thrives on this stuff, probably drinking his own urine a la Kevin Costner in the Waterworld franchise.
Yeah, we speculated that might be the case.
Yeah. Moose, on the other hand, in the update, because they had regular video updates, not into this. Didn't like it, was banging on the door, being like, I don't want to get him out of here. But he had the advantage. He comes out, and he starts just taking food and water from the crowd. Took like a pretzel with some mustard from some lady and some water. So he was powering up.
He was.
Had the advantage. Unfortunately, Sammy thrives in these type of matches because he was able to use a barbed wire baseball bat and 3 pile drivers altogether on Moose to get the win. But that second one where Moose just kicked out at 1 and was hulking out.
One.
I was like,
not even one.
Yeah, just bang. He was hulking out, man. It was awesome. But in the end, it was a really fun match.
Then we got the Good Brothers versus the Briscoes. No chickens involved in this one.
Sadly.
I know. Good Brothers pick up the win here, hitting Mark Briscoe with the Magic Killer, and then America's Most Wanted. So that was James Storm,
Correct.
and Wildcat Chris Harris.
Correct.
They were a tag team in Impact. They come to the ring with some beers, and for some reason, like the Briscoes and the Good Brothers are like cool with each other now after the match. They all six of them share a beer. Well, five of the six. Chris Harris apparently doesn't drink, so
this doesn't perplex me as much as I think it does you. The Briscoes have had how many tag titles? Like a ton
man,
of them.
I don't know.
This
Not
is
everybody's
just-
wired like you, Steve. When you win, you're ready to coast, you know?
Well, you
Some
know,
people, when
I'm
they
just-
get that taste of victory, they want it again and again and again and again.
Yeah, and the Briscoes will get it again and again and again because they've had tag titles again and again and again. So they're like, hey, you know what? If we lose this, we'll just challenge them to, a chicken farm match. And we'll get them right back. We're the Briscoes. We've had the Ring of Honor titles like 36 times. So I think they're just used to it. And they're like, hey, you know what? We might have lost, but usually when we lose tag titles, a couple of dudes with a six-pack don't come down and celebrate. Hey, when I lose at predictions, if somebody were to roll up in here, tell you, look, every Thursday when we play basketball and you lose, if some dude were to show up in the court, hey, Larson, you want some beer? I think you'd feel pretty good about that, wouldn't you?
Well, here's the thing. I would be like, yeah, I want a beer, but then I go walk and sit by myself and drink my beer and analyze what went wrong. I wouldn't be like cheersing you. No.
Oh, you're doing it wrong, man. You're doing it wrong.
No, I'm doing it right. I don't like to lose.
There's plenty of time to analyze why you lose every week.
No,
I mean,
you gotta
I
do it
try
right
to
then
tell
and
you,
there.
and you don't pay attention to me.
I do it right then and there while it's fresh before I forget everything.
But then you forget everything because the next Thursday you come back.
Yeah, and I'd still check out more threes. Anyways, after that, we had Honor No More versus the Impact Originals. This match was basically a 5-on-5 tornado tag match.
This
They
was a
kind of
mess.
threw the rules out the window. Dixie Carter makes an appearance to announce the fifth man, Davey Richards, of course, Ed Edwards' former tag team partner in the Wolves.
Yeah.
And then, finish saw Chris Sabin. Like, everybody was just beating the heck out of PCO at the end. And Sabin hits him with Cradle Shock. Brian Hebner takes a ref bump, gets knocked out of the ring. Earl Hebner is sitting there ringside. He comes to the ring. He takes his shirt off. He's got a ref shirt underneath. He counts the pinfall. Impact Hall of Famer Earl Hebner.
You think he just has that? Like that's his standard gear every morning he gets
That could be
up,
that's
he puts
his
on
typical undershirt as a ref's uniform.
the ref uniform because you never know when you're going to need it. Fights break
Exactly.
out all the time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
After that, we had the AJ Styles video, and then we had the Queen of the Mountain. So the rules on this are fairly simple.
Remember, I read the card they had, and someone in our chat yesterday said, "What were you reading, Larson?"
Yeah, what is a weird manifesto from the mind of a crazy person? Yeah.
Didn't Vince Russo invent this match?
He did, yeah. It's stupid. So yeah, basically you have to pin somebody to become eligible to win this match. Once you pin them, you receive the title, the actual championship, which then you have to climb a ladder and attach the thing to the hook up at the top of the ladder. The person who just got pinned has to go into a penalty box for 2 minutes or 90 seconds or something. And then they can come back out, and then they can try to be eligible by pinning somebody. It accomplishes several things. Number one, it confuses the commentators and the referees, and it buries everybody in the match because in order to be eligible, everybody eventually becomes eligible. So like everybody wins against people. Everybody gets pinned or submitted or whatever. So it kind of buries everybody. So it's a very Vince Russo thing.
If I remember correctly, Tasha was pinned once and then tapped out once.
I believe so, yeah.
She was pinned by Chelsea and then tapped out to Deanna.
Yeah.
I think.
And then they did a thing
Well,
where
yeah.
her
And then Jordan
Grace
hits her with the muscle buster, and I think pins her. So Tasha has to go to the penalty box, and then she climbs to get or puts the belt on the thing to win.
Yeah. So and then Tasha and Jordan were both made eligible because they did like a double pin thing on somebody. I forget who. Deanna Purrazzo and Chelsea Green took a horrific looking
That
spill
bump was rough.
from like the ladder. They were both at the top of the ladder battling. And then Mia Yim comes over and pushes the ladder over, and they go through some tables. But man, oh man, Chelsea Green just went straight to her back on that, and it looked brutal.
It did look rough. It looked really rough.
Yeah.
Then we had our main event, Eric Young versus Josh Alexander. Fun match. Towards the end, of course, Violent by Design, they peel back the mat, the canvas, and the padding in the ring. Eric Young hits another pile driver on it. Josh Alexander kicks out. And then he just drops Eric Young with a massive, massive Uranagi right on that exposed wood. That sucked. And then follows with the C4 spike to get the win. Yeah.
This was fun, though. All the shout-outs to the various finishers and Impact history. We had like a Styles Clash. We had the ankle lock.
We had a black hole slam.
Do we have a muscle buster? I forget.
Not in this match, no.
I guess maybe the bigger Uranagi was because Joe does that sometimes.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we didn't get James Storm's finish.
We had the Chris Daniels greatest moonsault, but unfortunately, we didn't get James Storm's finish.
Whatever that is.
We were told what it is, but it was way funnier when you said it and we didn't know what it was. Anyways, because it's the last call super kick. If I learned nothing else from that Impact stream, the last call super kick was his
finisher is called. Yep. Yeah. SmackDown, of course, was Friday night, and we talked about Vince's promo to open the show where he comes to the ring. Says it's a privilege, as always, to stand before the WWE Universe. Especially a privilege to stand in the ring in Minnesota. So I want to remind everybody of the 4 words from our WWE signature, the thing that runs before the show. Then, now, forever, the most important. Together. Welcome to SmackDown.
Right.
Mike and
no chance.
Shake some hands.
That's what you get. So after that, Riddle came out. He had a promo because he had that big main event match. And so he talked about, he says, before I kick Roman in his head and take his title, I want to take a stroll down memory lane, bro, and take a look at the history between Roman and myself. So they go to a video package. He says, been waiting for a long time for this opportunity. All of his friends and families are watching at home. But more importantly than my family is Randy Orton. He says, I know you got a big operation coming up. We all wish you the best of luck. He says, we miss you, bro. He says, for 20 years, you've been killing legends. He says, the RKO videos have gone viral worldwide and blah, blah, blah. Thank you, Randy. He says, but tonight I'm challenging Roman for the undisputed universal title, and I'm dedicating this match to guess who? Randy Orton. And he said...
it's like pretty much to hype myself up for this match, for let's hear a theme we haven't played in a while. Hopefully one we'll hear when Randy comes back and it's Randy Orton's theme.
Right, exactly. It's overboard, man. After that, we had Madcap Moss versus Happy Corbin in a last laugh match. Which what was this? Is like just a no DQ match, right?
No, it wasn't even a no DQ match.
This is a really?
It's just a normal match.
This is a normal match.
Normal match.
I guess the last laugh was just somebody gets to get on the mic afterwards and laugh, because that's what Madcap Moss did after he won. Yeah, he got the win here with a punchline, and then hit another for the win. He gets on the mic and he starts laughing at Corbin. Then he leaves, and then Corbin goes off. Oh, that's after the Street Profits promo. It was a Street Profits promo first.
Yeah. And they said it's been a while since they've been on SmackDown. He talks about Dawkins says he thinks Riddle's going to win the title tonight, and Ford says, well, if that happens, that means there'll only be one set of undisputed champions, the Bloodline. Those beat the Usos, and they're going to challenge them to the tag titles at Money in the Bank. And then we come back. Corbin's dropping a promo. He says, I got to stop the show because I want to get something up. I got something to say, and I want the whole world to hear it. He says, Pat, you and I have known each other for a long time, and I hear you criticizing me and making jokes. He says, when I was at rock bottom, you coined the phrase bum-ass Corbin, and you still run your mouth even though I've hit it big now. He says, Pat, you need to watch your mouth, because if you don't, I'm going to drag your skinny ass over the announce table, throw you in the ring, and make you wish you were dead.
Wow.
And so he walks off.
Yeah.
And then Pat looks to Cole and is like, is it okay if I do this? Mm-hmm. And Cole says, yeah, fine. So he takes his headset off, grabs a mic, and he tells Corbin, hey, before you walk out of the arena, I think we were all hoping from this last laugh match that we get to see you get laughed out of the entire arena. So with the help of the W Universe, maybe we can give them what they're waiting for since you've come into this company. And so he says, everybody here, start laughing. And then they all laugh Corbin out of the arena.
Yeah. So it seems like we're probably going to get these two at the Summerslam.
SummerSlam, yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which is cool.
Why don't they just give us Pat McAfee versus Roman Reigns at SummerSlam?
Dude, are you kidding me? That'd be amazing. That'd be
Rather
great.
see that. Rather see that than Brock again.
I'd love what? What? Oh yeah, that'd be great. Just to hear him talk about the build on his show would be must watch. Anyways, after that, we had a Natalya interview. She says, I'm going to do more than challenge Ronda. You know what? Honestly, this Friday, they should just run Natalya's tweet at Ronda Rousey because she was blowing up Ronda on Twitter.
Yeah.
Talking about taking people to a raw. Because Ronda was calling her out for her the videos where her and her sister slap each other's chests and or they do chops and stuff. And so Natalya was like, yeah, people want to see that rather than friggin' videos where you take people to a rock on your farm and spout conspiracy theories.
Wow.
It was pretty rough. Yeah, it was pretty great.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't understand why they're just doing the same story they did with Ronda and Charlotte, pretty much. My submission move is better than yours. It's the same story.
Yeah, they got nothing else, man. I mean, the thing is, like, I don't know. What would you do? Ronda can't talk. So you got that
I know,
gone.
but like during Ronda's first run, they made a point of saying that Natalya was one of the people training her to get her ready.
Yeah.
Like, there's more to work with here than just, sharpshooter is better than armbar.
Yeah, I know. I don't know how much inspiration you want to put. I don't know. You're right. I don't know. Anyway, so she says she's going to make Ronda tap out. Before that, we had New Day versus Jinder Mahal and Shanky. Of course, Shanky, he just wants to dance, and Xavier Woods knows this. So Jinder has Shanky sticking to the game plan until Xavier Woods introduces Francesca. Was Francesca 2, I think?
Francesca 2, I believe, yes.
Yeah. It starts, singing, doing a little song with that. And then Shanky, who's dominant, starts getting his groove on a little bit. And then that allows Kofi to hit, because Jinder tags himself in because he's like, enough of this foolishness. And then Kofi's able to hit him with Trouble in Paradise because he's all distracted. And then Shanky dances after the match.
Yeah, and Jinder just yells at him.
It's pretty funny.
It's pretty great. Then we got a Viking Raider video package because they're coming back to SmackDown, even though they have been there since draft.
Well, they're still at SmackDown, yeah.
Yeah, I know, but they say they're coming back.
Right, they're coming back, but they're still there. They've always
still there. They never left.
Yeah. I guess this is like when I'm at Winco. Steve is coming back to his house.
I guess so. So then Adam Pearce is in the ring with Drew McIntyre and Sheamus, and he's about to tell him which one of them is in Money in the Bank. First, though, Sheamus is backstage, and he tells Ridge and Butch, stay back there. I'm going to bring some gold to the Brawling Brutes. Drew tells Pearce, if I'm not putting this Money in the Bank ladder match, because Pearce is, doing all the statistics about you win the briefcase, your odds of being champ drastic go up. So Drew says, if I'm not putting this match, 100% chance I'm going to beat someone's ass tonight. Sheamus says putting Drew in the Money in the Bank match would be a huge mistake because he'll bungle the opportunity like he always does. So Pearce, otherwise, he says, Pearce says, well, Seth Rollins is already Money in the Bank. You both had an opportunity to get in it, but then he did this. He throws the video recap of them getting double DQ'd, and they come back, and then Pearce says, all right, Sheamus, you're in. And he starts to celebrate. He asks Drew how it feels to be second best, and then Drew starts beating the hell out of Sheamus. Clotheslines him out of the ring. He's about to take the fight to the floor, and Pearce is like, whoa. My next sentence was, you're in the ladder match too.
Right. He wouldn't have, because a normal person would have said, I'm putting you both in, as opposed to, Larson, you're in Money in the Bank. Enforcer, you're also in Money in the Bank. That's not how normal. Anyways, yeah. It was funny, though, because then Drew was like, oh, my bad. It was actually a pretty funny segment. So, but still, it's like, well, people wouldn't normally say that.
No.
After that, we had Sami Zayn waiting outside of Roman Reigns' locker room. He's very anxious, as usual. Kayla sort of jump scares him in for an interview. He's like, what are you doing here? And says, it's Sammy's loss that led to Roman's match tonight. Have you talked to anybody in the bloodline? He's like, no, I'm trying to do that now. There's no ill will here. I'm an honorary Uso. Nobody else is an honorary Uso. He says, everything's just fine. And she's like, okay. Just waiting for him to go in there. And he's like, I'm going to go to the bathroom. And then he goes.
Then we had Raquel Rodriguez versus Shayna Baszler in a Money in the Bank qualifying match. Lacey Evans was on commentary. Shayna was working Raquel's leg pretty much the entire match. She goes for a clutch. Rachel rams her in the corner, hits her finisher to get the win. It's a bummer that Shayna is not going to be in Money in the Bank.
It is an absolute bummer. And I'm sitting there watching this match being like, man, Shayna was such a dominant NXT Women's Champion. Raquel had a run also, and they just sort of treat one way more dominant than the other. Shayna's she's just in there, take this loss, and we all saw it coming,
Mm-hmm.
So it is a drag. She should be used better, but it is what it is, I guess.
Yeah. Then we had Max Dupree. He was supposed to have a segment in ring. There was a spotlight.
They showed
there and
the
everything.
ring with the spotlight, yeah.
Instead, backstage, Max Dupree is right in Pierce's face as usual. He says, "I'm disappointed in you because I'm not going to send my models to the ring under these conditions. You promised me top of the line acoustics and lighting, and that's not what we got out there." And he says, "This will not do, and you're not going to see any of my models until you fix this." So now this is all a joke.
How long is this going to go?
5 months.
Wow, that long.
Sure.
I figured like 5 weeks. Do they know who the first did?
No.
Wow.
No.
Wow.
They don't know. That's why it's the thing.
Yeah, it's a thing. Damn. After that, mood's back up. Gunther, Ludwig interview. Ludwig says Gunther's win was inevitable. The IC title was created in a tournament in South America and first won by a French Canadian held by countless international stars. It's also been won by stars like Ricochet, who epitomizes America. All flash, no substance. And Ludwig says an American will never win the Intercontinental Championship again. And Gunther says, I am the new Intercontinental Champion. That's all he has to say.
That's all he says. Then we got our main event, Riddle versus Roman Reigns. I gave this like 20 minutes. It was really, they had about 15 minutes.
Yeah.
They did the thing, really good.
They did the thing where it's like 25 till and Riddle comes out.
And they have 10 minutes of stuff.
You should read the Fightful Select thing on that. This is why Fightful Select is such a good value proposition. Because they do, he'll write up little reports like this where people come out and it's 15 minutes that they have to stay in the ring and he brought up, I think it was what's her, Dana Brooke. I think recently it was like 18 minutes or something.
Oh, it was Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan was in there forever.
Okay. Forever. And so he reached out to some people and they're all infuriated by it. But the response they get back from production is it helps the flow of the show. The flow of the show is better. I'm like, what the fuck? I forget that these matches are going to... How does this possibly improve the flow of the show? In what conceivable way?
It slows down the show because someone makes their entrance and then the matches begin for 15 minutes. It slows down the show.
It's awful.
Unless they want a slower flow. If they want a slower flow, then mission accomplished,
They want the slow flow.
Not the fast.
Not slow the fast. Slow flow.
Anyways, this match was a lot of fun.
This match was a blast. It's a blast.
Yeah. So
good
Riddle
flow to
counters,
this match, too.
Great flow. Wasn't a slow flow.
Not the slow flow.
So at one point, Riddle counters a spear with an RKO. Roman, of course, kicks out of that. Riddle hits a floating bro. He's looking for another RKO. Roman blocks, pushes Riddle off. So Riddle goes for a springboard off the second rope. Roman counters with the spear. He gets the win. And so the Usos get in the ring to celebrate with Roman. He grabs the mic, says, "There's nobody left. I said 2 years ago I was coming back to wreck everyone, and then I'm leaving. And that's what I do. That's what I did. I wrecked Riddle, and now I'm going to leave. But first, Minneapolis acknowledged me." So the crowd responds. Brock's music hits. He walks down the ring. Roman tells the Usos to leave. We get a stare down with Brock and Roman for a bit, and then Brock laughs and extends his hand. And then says, hey, respect.
Yeah, respect. Heart.
Yeah. Shake.
Lungs.
And so Roman's about to take his hand, shake it, bang, F5.
Yeah.
Usos get in the ring, bang, F5, F5.
It's like the fucking, Charlie Brown on the football here.
It really is. I did say the Russos. I almost said the Russos earlier.
We the one,
Usos.
The Russos.
The Usos. Now I got it. Ever since we mentioned Vince Russo's name, now
great.
it's like stuck in my head.
The Russos. That's good. Yeah, pretty lame, Millhouse, but that is what it is, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is this going to be a thing where he didn't really beat him? Because in the Mania match, wasn't there a title, like a blast to the head with a title or something?
Sure.
Maybe they're like, he's going to beat him clean this time. I don't know.
They got to have some sort of stipulation or something.
Yeah, there's got to be something, man. We had an AEW Rampage which was good. Start off with Jon Moxley versus Dante Martin. Dante Martin is so much fun to watch. That's what I kick. Whenever I say Dante Martin's in a match in singles action, I always say he's so much fun to watch because he is. And commentary was very it was lively in this. Wait, yeah, it was lively because this is where Regal and Jericho are just going.
Yeah. So apparently that I missed this announcement. It's going to be a last man standing match between Roman and Brock.
Okay, all right. So a couple more shots with the title belt, and
I guess so. No DQ, whatever. Yeah. Commentary did make a point of two things. One, they did talk about Zack Sabre Jr. calling out Bryan Danielson.
Yeah.
So maybe that match will still happen.
That could be
if Danielson's cleared.
Yeah.
And then they said quite a bit that every time Dante Martin faces Jon Moxley, he gets a little bit closer to beating him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep.
Didn't beat him this time.
Yep. Nope.
Maybe
a couple of years probably.
Yeah.
After that, we had a Keith Lee Swerve Strickland interview. I like this because they got to talk about their issues. And Lee says, "Look, man," because he knew the interview segment was 30 seconds. He says, "You have 30 seconds to explain yourself. Otherwise, I'm going to beat your ass." And Swerve's like, okay, look. I set out to win gold in AEW just like you did. He says, the Battle Royal was all about singles competition. You would have thrown me out if you had a chance. And then Lee's like, I'm not dealing with you. He turns to leave. He's like, wait, I still have 15 seconds. He's like, look, we had an agreement in LA, like Shaq and Kobe. Let's do this together. So Starks and Hobbs walks in. Starks says Lee and Swerve call themselves the best tag team. He said, but you guys have yet to beat us.
Then we had a Malachi Black and Penta video package, of course, hyping up their All-Atlantic Championship Tournament qualifier match to get into Forbidden Door match, four-way match at Forbidden Door.
It's the Miro match. It's the Miro match.
Yeah, Miro's going to win this.
It's the Miro title.
There's only like 5 or 6 matches confirmed right now for Forbidden Door. They got to double that up, you would think.
God, I hope not, bro. I hope this is a fucking 2.5-hour show.
Nah, it's going to be 4 hours, 13 matches.
Man, it better not be. Can't be. Come on.
It's going to be.
Let's get a short show, man. Especially with everything that's going on right now. They ain't got half their people that they want. Anyways, after that, we had Max Caster and the Ass Boys. Of course, everybody really... This was kind of a bummer to me, man, because it was Leon Ruff. I think he's like Leon Ruffin now, isn't he?
Yeah.
And Bear Country. I don't know, man. You got a guy like Leon Ruff. You don't put him in a match like this where he just gets squashed. He's a former NXT North American champion.
I know. He's really good. He's really good.
I'm sorry. On top of that, he's really fucking good.
Really good.
Yeah. I mean, pretty much this the show for this was listening to Max Caster drop the NDA reference. He had a pretty funny rap in advance of this.
Yeah.
But anyways, they even mentioned that the commentary mentioned that their entrance and the rap was longer than the actual match.
Yeah.
Caster hits Ruff with the mic drop for the win. Ruffin.
Yep.
Sorry.
Then we got a Hook interview. They talk about him facing a top prospect from the New Japan LA Dojo coming up on Rampage, I think, next weekend. And, of course, he just sits there, no reaction, or stands there, no reaction. So Lexi asks him, does anything excite you? Again, he just kind of shrugs.
Yeah.
So Danhausen enters. And then he's like, yeah, we're excited to face the top prospect from LA Dojo. We're going to annihilate him. We're going to decimate him. Yes. And Hook just says, I got this.
Yes.
Leaves.
After that, we had Willow Nightingale versus Jade Cargill. Stokely Hathaway was on commentary. And on commentary, Jericho announced that Jade Cargill is a sports entertainer of the week. So good for her. Congratulations.
Congratulations. She gets a pedigree, too, during this match.
Yeah.
Follows that up with Jade to get the win. Then after the match is over, Kiera Hogan gets in, starts attacking Willow. Athena, her music plays, but she comes in the ring from behind, hits Clips, now called O-Face.
Now it's the O-Face, yeah.
Now it's the O-Face on Kiera. Jade hits Athena with a pump kick. She's looking for Jaded, and this was great.
Yeah, this was hilarious.
So Statlander, by this point, Stokely has left commentary to go to ringside. So Statlander runs down to the ring, and as fluid as can be, as she's about to slide into the ring, she smacks Stokely in the back of his head.
Whoopah! And he tumbles to the ground. Yeah, he sells the crap out of it. He sells it
like he just got punched.
It was hilarious.
It was great.
Yeah, so Jade takes off. Any chance Statlander wins that title off Jade? Any chance Athena wins that title off Jade?
Right now, no.
They shouldn't. I don't know who. Statlander, if it's anybody, it should be Statlander.
Right? If it's anybody right now, the way they're booking stuff, it should be Statlander. But I mean, Jade should win the women's title while still being TBS champion.
I agree. I think so. I don't think they're going to do that, but that's how it should go.
They should do it.
After that, we had a Jay Lethal Satnam Singh video package. Lethal calls Joe a lazy champ. And then we had our main event. We had the interview that precedes it. Bobby Fish and Darby Allin. Darby says, Kyle, you took out the person closest to me in AEW. And tonight I'm going to do the same thing to you by taking out Bob Fish. Kyle's like, oh, yeah, I took out Sting and I'd do it again. But you're going to walk into St. Louis and take on Bob Fish. And Fish is like, hey, Darby, where are you taking me out? To Chili's or Outbreak? Outbreak. It says Outbreak.
Oh, yeah. You can tell I did these notes this morning.
Outback. And Darby says, tonight we're not having a wrestling match. And by the end of the night, I'm going to break your leg, Bobby Fish. And then Bobby Fish comes out to that great homage Danzig music.
Yeah, and then Bob Fish was beating the hell out of Darby Allin for 90% of this match.
He was, yeah.
He was beating him up. Anyways, at the end, though, Bob Fish hits a super Falcon Arrow, gets a 2, goes right into a heel hook, and this Darby just reverses that fairly easily into Last Supper for the win. Mm-hmm. And then Bob Fish starts attacking Darby after the match. He's calling out Kyle O'Reilly to come to the ring. And so Kyle takes his time. He's got a chair. He's playing air guitar on it. Mm-hmm. He makes his way about halfway down the ramp. Lights go down. They come back up. Sting's there. He hits Kyle O'Reilly in the balls with baseball bat. Takes the chair, hands it to Darby. And then Darby puts it around Bob Fish's ankle and hits a coffin drop on the chair off the second rope.
Yep. Yeah, that was pretty brutal.
It was.
Yeah. So there you go, and there you are. We're going to answer questions today over at Friendo Club TV in its own video, because that's what we're doing now. So all those awesome questions you asked us on the Twitter at Real Going in Raw every single Monday, we do its own video over there at Friendo Club TV. So go subscribe to that channel and turn on your notifications. Of course, right here at the YouTube. Also, if you're watching us on YouTube, hey, throw us a like, hit that subscribe button, hit the notify bell. We'd appreciate it. Yep. Thanks for watching, everybody. Until next time, we'll talk to you later.
Goodbye.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Stone Cold Steve Austin impersonator Phil McDonald, here to tell you to go support Going in Raw and Friendo Club at patreon.com/Steven Larson. They got bonus episodes, ad-free audio, a weekly newsletter rounding up the weekend wrestling news, and a bunch more. Patreon.com/Steven Larson. Go support or get hit with a stunner.